She slammed her fist on my door and yelled, "Open up!
Show up police."
Before I could answer, the door flew in and two men rushed inside, flipping chairs, smashing frames, throwing my kid's school bag on the floor. Karen stood behind them with her phone up, smiling like she won. "This is what happens when you ignore HOA law," she said. One of the men shoved me back and said, "You're being detained for trespassing." I looked at the mess, then at my son shaking in the corner. I stayed calm, too calm. Karen laughed. "You should have moved when I told you." I reached into my pocket slow, not scared, and pulled out my badge wallet. I didn't open it yet. I just said one line that made the room feel smaller. "You might want to stop touching my house." One of the fake officers scoffed and kicked my coffee table over. "Big talk for a guy losing his home," he said. Karen stepped inside like she owned the place and pointed at my son. "That kid can be taken by CPS if you keep resisting." My hands tightened, but I didn't move. I looked at her and said, "Don't bring my child into your lies." She rolled her eyes and waved at the men. "Cuff him!" Cold metal snapped on my wrist. Outside, I heard a tow truck engine start. My truck? The same truck I used to take my son to school. Karen leaned close and whispered, "By tonight, you'll have nothing." That's when I quietly said, "Did you file this raid under your HOA name? Or the county?" She froze for half a second. Just half. Then she laughed loud. "What county?" I smiled for the first time and answered, "Mine." Her smile cracked just a little. She tried to cover it by yelling, "Ignore him!" One of the men tightened the cuffs and pushed me toward the door. My son cried out, and that sound cut deeper than anything. As they dragged me past the hallway mirror, I caught my own eyes. "Steady, not scared." Outside, neighbors were already filming. Karen raised her voice for them. "He's been impersonating an officer and stealing HOA land." I spoke up. "Calm and clear. Check his belt." The fake cop stiffened. Too late. A real patrol car rolled in, lights flashing slow, not rushed. Karen clapped like she planned it. "Good, more officers." The real deputy stepped out, looked at the wrecked door, then at me in cuffs. His face changed. "Sheriff?" he said under his breath. Karen's phone slipped in her hand as I finally opened my badge wallet. "You're on my county," I said quietly. The air went quiet in a strange way, like everyone forgot how to breathe. Karen laughed, sharp and nervous. "He's lying," she said, pointing at me. "That badge is fake." The deputy didn't answer her. He walked closer, slow, eyes locked on the wallet. He nodded once and turned to the men who cuffed me. "Take them off, now." One of the fake cops tried to speak. "Sir, we're HOA enforcement." The deputy cut him off. "You're trespassing and impersonating law enforcement." Phones went higher. Karen stepped back. "This is a misunderstanding," she said, voice softer now. I rubbed my wrists and looked at the broken door, my son still shaking behind it. I pulled my phone out and tapped play. Video, clear faces, clear voices. Karen sang, "Break it if you have to." I looked at her and said the line that stuck. "You picked the wrong house. And the wrong day." Karen tried to run it back with words. "He scared my community," she said fast. "My kids were afraid." She pointed at the broken furniture like it proved her story. The deputy looked around, slow this time. He picked up my son's school bag from the floor. Books torn. Glass on top. He asked Karen one question. "Which HOA gives you the right to kick indoors?" She opened her mouth, then closed it. One of the fake cops whispered, "We should go." That's when the real patrol cars rolled in, lights washing the street red and blue. Neighbors stepped out, phones recording everything. I nodded toward the men who raided my home. "Check their radios," I said. "They don't connect to any channel." An officer did. His face changed. Karen started crying loud, messy. "I was just enforcing rules." I crouched next to my son and said it calm but clear, loud enough for every phone. "Rules don't come before people. And fake power always breaks when real law shows." "Up!" Karen's voice cracked as cuffs clicked on the first fake cop. One tried to step back, then froze when a state trooper blocked him. The crowd got quiet in that heavy way. The kind that means something big is about to fall. Karen kept talking, pointing at me like I was still the problem. He lied! He said he owned this land! I reached into the kitchen drawer that somehow survived the raid and slid a folded paper across the counter. The deputy opened it. County seal, blue stamp. His eyes lifted slow. This property is exempt from HOA control, he read out loud. Karen's face drained. I added one line steady. And I didn't lie about who I am either. I pulled my badge from under my jacket and set it down where every camera could see. County sheriff. Not raised, not flashed, just there. The trooper straightened. The deputy nodded once. Karen stepped back, shaking her head, whispering, "No, no, that's not possible." I looked at the broken door, then at her. "You kicked in the wrong house," I said. "And tonight you're done." Karen tried to run her mouth again, but the sound died in her throat when the deputy turned his body away from her and toward me. He asked, calm but sharp, "Sheriff, do you want us to clear the scene?" That word hit her harder than any shout. "Sheriff." She stumbled back, almost tripping over the broken table her people smashed. One of the fake cops started begging, saying Karen paid them, saying it was just to scare me out. Phones went up everywhere. Someone whispered, "She hired fake police." I walked through my own living room, glass crunching under my boots, kids' photos torn off the wall. I didn't yell. I didn't rush. I just pointed at the damage. "Document all of it," I said. "Every door. Every lie." Karen screamed that the HOA would sue, that she had friends in the county. The trooper cut her off. "Ma'am, you're being detained for impersonation, conspiracy, and unlawful entry." That's when she finally looked at me like she understood. Not fear, regret. I leaned in close enough for only her to hear. "You wanted authority," I said quietly. "Now you're meeting the real one." By morning, the house was quiet again. Not broken quiet, safe quiet. Yellow tape was gone. New locks were on the doors. My son sat at the table eating cereal like nothing owned him anymore. Outside, neighbors waved. Some said sorry. Some just nodded with respect. Karen was led past in cuffs, makeup smeared, eyes empty. No shouting this time. No phone, no power. The fake cops took plea deals by noon. The HOA board resigned that week. Their signs came down like they were never real to begin with. Insurance covered the damage. The county covered the rest. I stood on the porch with my family, snow melting into the dirt I actually own, and felt something settle in my chest. I didn't win by yelling. I didn't win by threats. I won because truth lasts longer than fake power. I looked at my son and said the line he still repeats. "In this country, your home is your ground, and no one gets to take it by force."